So I was trying to get Warp World to work. It's, I mean, pretty cliche, I guess, for me. And I thought the best way to do so would be land death, because every deck has horrible mana right now. I mean, Eldrazi Green wasn't out when I started working on it, but its mana is fine. But other than that, basically every deck has really bad mana. So I started working on a Warp World deck with like Acidic Slimes, Goblin Rune Blasters, things like that to blow up my opponent's lands, cast a Warp World, hit Obnixus or Rampaging Bale or something like that. And Warp World just was a little too random for me. Like, I'd have Jund down to like 4 permanents or something, and they'd hit 2 Broodmage Dragons, and I would still lose. And so I was like, didn't really want to play that. So I kind of threw the deck away, went on to some other things, and then came up with the idea to essentially make Warp Worlds into Violent Ultimatums. And threw in some Mold Chamblers instead of Bloodbraid Elves, and basically turned it into a straight land death package with 4 Lotus Cobra, 4 Colony Hard Expedition, 4 Harrow, a bunch of land death spells, 4 Violent Ultimatum, 4 Mold Chambler, 4 Acidic Slime, 4 Goblin Rune Blaster, then like some Terminates and Obnixus and Rampaging Bales as finishers, and it's working out pretty well. I'm 3-1 right now. It's pretty insane. You get some crazy draws like turn 3 Bale off, turn 4 Ultimatum, turn 3 Ultimatum, various things like that. So it's pretty good.
So your deck is actually a magical Christmasland.
Yeah, well, like like I said earlier, like the problem with the Lotus Cobra itself is that you need to be able to have a deck that functions like without it, but also can take advantage of the fact that it's in your deck. So like the decks like that are just trying to pop out a turn 3 Baneslayer Angel, like those decks, they're not really fully capitalizing on a Lotus Cobra because they're just using it as like a one-time, whatever. But then the decks that are running like, infinite, huge casting cost stuff, and if their Cobra dies, they can never cast those things. They're really bad. So like I have a lot of redundancy with Colony Hard Expedition, and then even if I don't hit my mana, I can start blowing up my opponent's mana, setting them back, which therefore, puts me ahead. So I can get to turn 7 to Ultimatum or whatever, even if I don't hit a mana source or a mana accelerator, and I have 12 of them, so it's likely. So like, it's a fine line. Like Brad said it pretty well in the last show you did from Austin, that you have to have a deck that works with Cobra and works without Cobra. So I mean, it basically goes from insane to pretty average land death strategy without it, but it works fine.